Judy, can you hear me?
Now I can. Earlier I couldn't.
Okay, good, because I took another call and I called in for this and I wasn't sure if it switched back or not.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now. Earlier you were talking. I was like, I hope that's why I put good morning, Alan, because it was like,
Oh yeah, no, I was on the phone with
is
somebody
nobody
else.
talking
Okay.
here? Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, thanks. Everything good with you?
Yeah, so far so good. You?
Yeah, doing all right. Doing okay. We got a new Mastiff puppy, and that's a handful.
Oh, that keeps you busy.
Yeah, he's big. Yeah, he's big. He's big. He's actually inside in the kennel. I'm spending 2 weeks in the casita, and so he's inside in the kennel during this meeting. Otherwise, there would be a massive barking in the background.
Oh,
Yeah, crazy little puppies. But he's cute.
oh, I bet.
He, you know, I don't have kids, and I feel like he's a mouthy 7-year-old. Is how I.
Oh, there you go. Well, you better put him in check.
Yeah,
You
I
know how
'cause
you
he's
like
gonna
things orderly.
he's gonna get big. He's gonna be bigger than Tank, I think. Tank was 150 pounds, and I think this guy's gonna get bigger than that.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah, that's a human. That is a human adult.
There you go. Your 7-year-old human.
So he's already probably 50 pounds, maybe 45 pounds.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. I was like, I expect more people here, and here we go. We're gonna start seeing some people.
Maybe they'll start coming now. You know me, I'm always early.
I saw you popped on at like 22, and I'm like, Judy is not missing a minute of this. Good morning,
right?
Lori. Yeah.
Good morning. I guess I'm a little early too.
4 minutes. I feel like 4 minutes is right on time.
I think that's right on time. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird with Zoom. You never know to like hop on early or somebody going to open the meeting.
I can't take notes because my cat is sitting on my notebook.
You're kidding. It looks like a kitten.
She is a kitten. She's brand new.
Oh, she's cute.
So cute. What's her name?
Sunshine.
Oh, what a cutie patootie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of acquisition of new pets these last 6 months.
Yeah, it's a good time because we're home and we can, we have 2 other cats that we've had to referee them, but
I'm sure.
Slow but sure, yeah.
Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Ellen. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Hi, Valerie.
Hello.
Unmute. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Bonnie, your picture looks like you have something on your mind.
Yep, looks like you're not getting Christmas present this year. Getting coal.
That's a cute picture.
It's not, I'm up to something photo.
Definitely. It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody have a great weekend?
Yes. The weather's beautiful.
Yeah. Ugly
Yeah.
on Saturday, windy on Saturday, I
Yeah.
guess. Yesterday was lovely.
Juanita, I haven't seen you in forever.
Oh, Jennifer.
How are you? Yeah, my hair's getting long. I have COVID.
Yeah, I was saying, is that Jennifer or who? Is it Anna? It's good to see you.
Ellen, I think that's fine.
And then are you going to
I
say
don't
the
know.
whole
I don't know
meeting,
how to chat back.
Are
I stop
you
everything.
gonna
I
say-
stop everything and answer.
I didn't know if you wanted us to start with you, or would you be able to stay the whole meeting?
I can stay the whole meeting. I don't mind.
Okay.
And then I'll just jump in when you need. I have the registration screen or the
Okay.
first screen up. So whenever you need me to share my screen, so you could see that.
Okay. I did want to give us a couple of minutes. You know, Zooms are weird.
Yep.
People never know to hop on early or right on time, or, you know.
Oh, see, I didn't even answer your whole chat.
I know.
I think you could just type back and just put enter and it'll go straight to Ellen.
I know, but I have to stop like what I'm doing and then do that, and I get distracted and I don't remember what I was doing. I can't even look at that area during a plug meeting because they're coming in like,
Oh.
and some people are joking and like telling me a joke, or I'm like, don't distract me.
So I'll have to tell you who I admire her multitasking tools during these meetings is Ellen.
Oh yeah,
She gets them all going, man. She can do a lot of things at one time. I'm like, wait, I have to think.
I know, right?
One thing at a time for me. Otherwise, I lose it.
Absolutely. Well, it's 2 after 9. Do you want to wait a few minutes, Ellen, or are we ready to go?
Actually, let's go ahead and start with introductions.
Okay. So go ahead, Ellen, and I guess, I don't know what line we're looking at, but we can go down the line, I guess, or I can call people out.
Yeah, I think it's easiest to call people out on a Zoom.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming to this non-mandatory. Just want to be very clear, it's non-mandatory. So we appreciate taking time out of your day this morning for our RFP for a number of service areas that we have for FY21. My name is Ellen Braden. I'm the division manager for behavioral health and wellness, which is a division within family and community services.
So Sandra Archuleta, I am community outreach coordinator, and I am the ones, if you have any questions or need technical assistance, you would be emailing me. You might think my name's in the RFP a couple of times, and some have already reached out to me. That'll be my role. I'm kind of coordinating this whole effort. So yeah, that's the face to the name. Laurie?
Good morning, Lori Fapier. I'm at Supportive Housing Coalition of New Mexico.
Jennifer?
Good morning, everyone. I am with the city's purchasing division, and we are going to talk a little bit about how to get registered in Bonfire and how that system works.
Juanita?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Juanita Flo, Program Specialist with the City of Albuquerque Behavioral Health and Wellness Division.
Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm the Clinical Director at the Rape Crisis Center, Central New Mexico.
Corey?
Good morning. My name is Corey Lee, and I'm with Crossroads for Women.
Anita?
Good morning, Anita Cordova. I'm with Albuquerque Healthcare for the Homeless.
Bonnie?
Hi, I'm Bonnie Escobar and the new executive director with Enlace Comunitario.
Oh, welcome. Judy?
Thank you.
Judy Pacheco, Associate Director, Youth Development Incorporated.
Robert?
Hi, everyone. Robert Fontenot. I am with Crossroads for Women as well.
Debbie?
Good morning. This is Debbie. I'm with Tender Love Community Center.
Valerie?
Hello, I'm Valerie Sanchez from Casa Fortaleza.
Let's see, we have Jennifer.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Jennifer Weisberg at Serenity Mesa Youth Recovery Center.
Nancy?
Good morning, Nancy Marsh with New Mexico Kids Matter.
Jane?
Good morning, I'm Jane Larson, and I'm working with Casa Fortaleza also.
CJ?
Good morning, everybody. I'm CJ Ondek, and I'm a grant writer with New Day Youth and Family Services and Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central New Mexico.
Tristan?
Hi, I'm Tristan Lovato Armstrong, and I'm a program specialist with the city's Behavioral Health and Wellness Division.
Bianca? Come back to Bianca. Brian?
Hi, maybe he's on mute. Oh.
Yep, got it. I'm Brian Bonanno. I am a planner with the city's Behavioral Health and Wellness Department.
And Jennifer Padilla.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jennifer Padilla, and I'm with Synergetic Business Solutions out in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Did I get everyone? The windows were flipping around. Did I get everybody? If not, please speak up. Okay, I'm gonna assume I did. So thank you so much for joining us today. What we want to do is go over some of the requirements with this RFP and give you guys a chance to ask some questions. Ellen and I will be tag teaming through this, so I'll kind of be guiding it, and I'll pull up the RFP with specific areas that I want to address. If at any time you have questions, you can go ahead and just ask. And then, you know, as we go through, we do have Tristan who'll be taking minutes for us. And those minutes and any questions that have been asked so far will be posted both on the city's website and in Bonfire. At the end, we'll have Jennifer Bradley give you some information on how to register and submit things in Bonfire. So.
And also, this meeting's being recorded. In past, we've asked, other people have asked that it be recorded so that in case somebody missed it. So if all goes well, we'll have the recording too. So this is the first time I'm recording a meeting in full disclosure. So hopefully we'll have that too.
And will that be posted as well on Bonfire and on the city's website? Are we able to do that?
I don't know yet, but we're gonna find that out.
Okay. Okay, good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And I think the best way to handle this is go ahead and just, can you guys see that? Am I sharing yet? No, hold on. And I think if it's okay, unless it gets crazy, just answer questions. And I mean, Ellen, you're probably better at multitasking than I am. Do you want to use the chat or do you want to raise a hand? How do we want to do this?
So I'll be monitoring the chat.
Okay.
While Andrew is reviewing information, and then also we can, and then at the very end, we'll be doing verbal questions too. So you'll have both
Okay.
opportunities, either chat or verbal.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Okay, so first of all, the RFP is several pages long, 63. A lot of those are forms and whatnot, but I would encourage, before you even start looking at it, what you're going to submit, really go over this RFP in its entirety. Highlight things. If you have questions, you're welcome to ask them either during this meeting or you can email me. But there's a lot of details here, and you want to be able to get the most, make the most complete and accurate and a proposal that reflects the work that you'd be doing. So please make sure that you review this all the way. We're going to only go over some highlights. So the proposals are accepted until 11:59 on Sunday, November 29th. The bonfire says midnight on November 30th. It's 6 1/2 dozen the other. So that's the way bonfire does it. So you guys have all the way up to basically midnight on the 30th, or 11:59. After that, we won't be accepting any more proposals. I'm not sure if you guys have gotten on bonfire and registered. It's actually fairly easy, but that's where we will be going. Everything will be submitted. You know, somebody requested some of the proposal because they couldn't get on bonfire. There's actually a support at bonfire.com link. If you're having trouble, please use that.
And Jennifer's going to go over how to log in and register. You can't download anything from Bonfire until you register.
Right. And we won't accept, as in the past, I mean, in the past, we've accepted all paper. We're not doing that again. So please know that. Please also be aware of the administrative requirements. They are on the city website. If you're serving, if you're submitting a proposal where there's substance use, you'll have to also be aware of what's in the minimum standards for substance abuse treatment. So those are really your guiding documents. And that's what we go by when we monitor you, and that's what a lot of these requirements are based on. Anything
Sandra,
else?
can I intervene?
Sure.
Those two requirements are on our website.
They are, and that's what this link is here for. So those are the links that you would use. So we have our outcome measures. There's actually 4 that we won't be, we have 5 of them, but we will only be looking at 4 during this, for this RFP. Increased behavioral health stability, increased housing stability, increased public safety, or increased individual and family resilience. Your proposal will have to address at least 2 of those. So you'll have to talk about those in your proposal. Anything else, Ellen?
No, those are just the overarching outcomes for our entire department. So those are the high level outcomes.
Right, and if you need an explanation of the outcomes, again, you can look further down here. It really does give you a more in-depth explanation of what those are and what they include. So I'm not gonna read those. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys just look over those or highlight them in your scopes. So the scopes of service that we do have, I'll start going over those right now. So we have a provide for stay in school services. The department's going to allocate up to $130,000 for services that work with students through high school age who are at risk of dropping out of school and who are historically underserved. So we have an expected outcome that must include student retention and academic programs. But other expected outcomes may include, but are not limited to, these items down here. So just keep in mind the must versus the may. may is like extra, considerations that we can look at, but do not leave out the must and put the may in, because that's not going to help. Any questions about, any additions about that, Ellen?
No.
Okay, so a big one, and you'll see this in almost every scope of service, it's the COVID-19. And what we want to do is make sure that your proposal includes how you will continue to provide services in the event that the pandemic continues, or any kind of emergency, I should say. So keep that in mind. And again, I think that's in almost every one of this. So one of these. So anyways, just kind of make sure that you're kind of proposing how that will go. Anything to add about that, Ellen? Okay.
No,
You'll-
I think we learned a lot that we need to be even more flexible than we realized as these public health orders continue to change. So we're not asking you to look in the future, but just describe the flexibility of your service delivery and how you can modify it to continue to provide services despite what comes, and hopefully 21 will be slightly easier than 20.
Absolutely. So we're doing intensive case management services, and the department is going to allocate up to $750,000 for the innovative provision of intensive case services for individuals with substance use problems to overcome this historically weak linkage system for these individuals. And basically what this program is, well, like the title says, intensive case management. They are, the intensive case managers are working with individuals more consistently, more intensively, and helping them navigate the systems that are out there. The way it's been set up in the past is there are several agencies that manage their specific clients, but provide those intensive services to them. So they work as a kind of a collaborative, I guess. So, and again, I'll let you go. There's a lot of information on that. I'm going to go ahead and let you read all that. If you have any questions, you can just pop them in there and we'll be more pointed, because this is just a lot of work, a lot of information. Yes, Ellen?
And I would add that the target population for these services is persons with a primary substance use diagnosis. So it can be primary substance use with a co-occurring, but the intention is really to decrease substance use in our community.
Yep, see, this is big. And then again, what we're going to be talking about throughout most of these, how will we leverage Medicaid funds, right, to cover the cost of services? So if you can explain that in your proposal, then that's going to be one of the requirements as well. You'll see that throughout. Next, we have crisis counseling and support services for victims of sexual assault. And the department's going to allocate up to $317,000 for persons who are victims of sexual assault, with an emphasis on underrepresented populations. And so if you collaborate with another agency, then you'll be given priority. And so keep that in mind. And so we can split up these funds however we see, but make sure, we want to also make sure that we're serving all populations. And again, Medicaid funds is there. Again, you want to be able to show how you'll leverage those. Provide substance use outpatient treatment for school-aged youth, and this is up to $100,000 for evidence-based outpatient substance use services for economically underserved school-aged youth, elementary through high school. And then we want to, the services should include but are not limited to administer substance assessment, group and individual counseling, family education and counseling, experiential groups, and referral to additional support services if they need it, or if within your agency you're able to provide those services, additional services, then you can indicate that as well. And then again, the COVID pandemic, and then the Medicaid funds. Preventative outreach services for youth. The department will allocate up to $93,000 for services that provide outreach services that can create a meaningful impact that responds to the unmet need of at-risk children and youth who reside in historically underserved areas of Albuquerque. So the services may include but are not limited to. You want to, and this is new to this section. We're doing a few more things, right? I think, Ellen, was this portion new?
Right. So so nothing in the first three are new, but what we added is the linkages to the city's violence intervention program. Historically, we have said it's possibly preventing gang intervention or prevention, or any other types of behavior issues. But we have added linkages as appropriate to other specific programming.
And then again, the Medicaid fund and the COVID-19 clause there. Intensive outpatient for youth and young adults with associated housing. And so the department's going to give up to $152,000 for substance use treatment meeting meeting ASAM criteria for intensive outpatient treatment. That includes associated housing for youth and young adults. I think before we were calling this residential, now it's just associated. It's an intensive outpatient treatment program with associated housing for ages 14 through 21. Services can include but not limited to group and individual counseling, administering substance use disorder assessments, family education and counseling, and then provision for additional supportive services. Then this is new. We want cost per client per day in your proposal. So we're gonna, this will be unit of service. So I suppose if it costs $100 a day per person, then that's how we want you to break that down. And then we also want the capacity for bilingual services. Those are recommended. And then again, leveraging Medicaid funds. So the next one is workforce development and behavioral health services for homeless or precariously housed persons. The department will allocate up to $130,000 for job development and job training program for persons who are low income, homeless, or precariously housed. So what's changed with this one, or some things have been added. We want the provision for behavioral health services, and some of the expected outcomes may include graduates of the program attaining employment and/or housing after completing the program. So that's what that is. The service period is July 1st of next year through June 22nd. So as far as general eligibility, so the agency which is a unit of state or local government and or agency currently incorporated as a nonprofit organization, registered and in good standing with the state of New Mexico, Secretary of State, which is nonprofit status. So there is some limitations. We just want to make sure if you're a religious organization that you're following these guidelines. Basically, you're not, asking people to retire, to join your services or join your religion. You're just providing the services. You can read that. We have the minority and women business enterprises. So what the city is doing there, we want to make sure that we are including women and minority businesses. So the city uses this website down here, which is, it's highlighted here. And we will look and see if there's reach out to any of those businesses on that website and make sure that they're aware of the RFPs that are being offered. So just to make sure we include those. There are some preferences for city, local, small, or veteran-owned businesses. What you'll need to make sure is you go to this website. You'll have be able to download Appendix 14, and you'll need to fill that out and sign it and let us know what preferences you're seeking. There's basically 10% points, so you can get 10 extra points. So for this RFP, and I'll look at those as I'm doing the technical review and award those, but you'll have to make sure you fill out that form in order to get those. So you will need a valid pay equity reporting form, and it must be attached regardless of whether the offer is requesting this preference. So I believe that's on the city website. Ellen, where are we getting that from? I don't see a link here.
That will be in Bonfire. Well, you'll have to upload it in Bonfire.
Okay.
I'll
double check.
Okay,
Yeah. And we can get the link out in an addendum if we need to.
Okay. So again, ADA compliance, you want to make sure that you are aware that you're meeting and you agree to that you're meeting all the requirements. I believe that there's a form that you can sign stating that. It gets some additional requirements. You have your personnel policies. These are the policies that you will need. Conflict of interest policies, accounting policies. We'll need information on your active board, nepotism, and then we need background checks. And then this, I'll go ahead and let you read that. Technical assistance is due by November 22nd. So if you guys need any help, you're welcome to reach out to me. I will post the results on the webpage, Family and Community webpage, and on Bonfire. And just to let you know, those will be noted as addendums, or so you'll have to just indicate that you did get that information. So that's part of what is one of the requirements, and I'll go over those, the mandatory documents. So we will give you, you can reach out to me and I will post everything that you said. I know I'm not sure if a few people have already reached out to me. I'll compile those Q&As and post those this week as well. So probably a couple of them. The project narrative, 13 type, double spaced, 8.5 by 11 pages with 12-point font. So do not go more than that. I don't think we talk about margins, but I don't know, we're not talking about margins here, right? People get real creative on their margins, but we're not talking about it. So just 13 double spaced pages. And then it needs to be organized according to the sections and sections numbered as indicated. So again, we want it in this order: the comprehensive explanation of project, purpose, target populations, measuring progress, organizational capacity, and that's to keep us from basically flipping back and forth and searching for the information. The project budget forms, you can submit in Word, Excel, or PDF, whichever is more convenient for you. We'll take whatever you have. And the proposed work plan could be in Word or PDF. So again, whichever works for you. Again, preference points, we're giving up to 10% total preference points. So make sure you take advantage of those if you meet any of these qualifying items. And
Sandra,
then
can you go back up to the budget forms real quick? So right there, I just want you all to be aware that the Excel version of the budget forms is at the link noted in the RFP. The PDF version is downloadable from either Bonfire or the FCS website, and then Word is in the actual proposal at the very end. So that's how you access all three of those, but that's why you have a choice.
Make sure you're looking at their insurance requirements. Yeah, and so there's a few things there. And I'll let you go through any of those other assurances. So regarding the review criteria and scoring process. So let me tell you, this question came up last week. It is acceptable to bid on one or multiple scopes of service, but a separate proposal packet must be submitted for each scope of service. So you can't say, I already submitted one. It has to be separate because we will put them into their separate sections and look at them individually. And there'll be different there'll be different expectations with each one. So the scoring is as follows. The completeness of the proposal is 10 points. So I'll go down the mandatory requirements in a bit, but if there is something missing from the mandatory requirements, you can get 2 points deducted for each item up to 10 points. So you want to make sure that each one of those items, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking for, you don't miss anything there. So you can actually resubmit them and we'll look at that. But if they're missing initially, you'll lose the points initially. Does that make sense? Is that the best way to describe that, Ellen?
I think so, and we can tease it out as we continue to go if there's additional questions.
Yeah, so then comprehensive explanation of the project purpose, target population, service delivery, etc. That's 20 points. How you're going to measure progress is 5 points. We'll look at organizational capacity, and that's 20 points. Organizational capacity for past performance. So if you've had, if you've been with us in the past, what we will look at is past performance and how you've done, whether it's the same type of services or just other past performance that you've done with another contract. So kind of keep that in mind.
And also, if you have not contracted with us, you do want to talk about how you have been successful in similar services. So this is not just specific to past contractors with the city, but it's specific to everyone.
Right. Let me highlight, okay. Then we want you to demonstrate the ability to expense of city funds, and that's 15 points. That's appendices 2 to 6. So we'll make sure that if we have a fiscal person sitting on our team and they actually will look and see how that works out. Ellen, you have a comment about that?
Yeah, and so we all actually look at the reasonableness of the budgets that have been proposed. Are they programmatically reasonable? We look to see if the leverage funds, that you all discuss leverage funds, but within your narrative, talking about the organizational capacity, you will want to make sure that you address the financial capacity of your agency to meet the administrative requirements, as well as to meet your own fiscal policies.
So work plan, and that's Appendix 7, that is 20 points. So again, we have all the information on how we'll score it below. And then again, preference points, you'll get up to 10 points. And again, these aren't federal funds are being used, so we will not, so everybody could apply for preference points. Let me see. I'll let you guys go over all that. So there is an appeals process. So if you were not selected, you may submit a written appeal. The letters must be submitted and arrived at the department director no later than 10 working days after the receipt of notice of non-selection. In the past, things have been sent out, I believe they've been sent out, I know they were sent out, I get it, you know, manual letters or whatever, so it's gonna be, you'll get an electronic notice. And this is where you'll send it to Carol Pierce, and then you'll, you know, justify why you're appealing this. Let me see, this RFP advisory, let me see here. Oh, okay. So if it's determined that you didn't send everything in on for your mandatory requirements, I will send you out a letter asking you to submit whatever documents are missing. So what you'll need to do is make sure you provide us with 2 valid email addresses, and you'll have 3 days to respond. If I don't get your information in 3 business days, you will be considered non-responsive, and we won't grade your, we won't review your proposal. So make sure that we have every available avenue to contact you, because we will give you, if you're missing something, we'll give you another chance to get it.
And I just want to clarify, it'll be an email that you send out, not a letter. So that's why it's really important that you all include 2 email addresses that will be monitored daily during the course of the RFP process, so that way you don't miss anything. And when Sandra sends out the email, she'll send out an email to everyone, either indicating that your proposal was complete or that it was incomplete, so that way you're not left wondering. And then also there'll be a notice on the RFP page that emails have been sent out.
And then again, they'll need to be in by 11:59 or on Sunday, or according to Bonfire, midnight on November 30th, which is a minute away. Any kind of questions that you have, clarification, those are all due. The last date to submit those is November 22nd. And again, they'll be posted on FCS page and on Bonfire. And then you'll have to acknowledge those amendments. They'll come in as an amendment, so you'll have to acknowledge that you got those. And so yeah, you'll just sign and return the amendment. Well, it says or by letter, but I guess we'll upload them into Bonfire, correct?
So what you could just do is submit a letter to the proposal committee saying, I acknowledge receipt of amendment 1 through 5 or whatever it is, and then sign that and upload that with your submission in Bonfire.
Yeah. There may be a few of them. So the proposal checklist. So this is the exact checklist I use when I'm doing the technical review on your submissions. So you want to make sure that you provide everything that's in the mandatory requirements. So acknowledgement of the amendments, and that's just what Ellen talked about. Appendix 1, And I believe that's something you can download. That's fillable PDF. The explanation of the project purpose, target population, service delivery outcomes, how you're going to measure progress, organizational capacity, any kind of past performance. I'll look at that as well. Project and budget, these are all of our budget forms. You want to make sure that those are all included. The work program summary, that's where we're going to, that will be one of the main things that we look at to make, it'll tell us if you're able basically to do the work and how you're going to do the work. We want resumes and job descriptions of key personnel. So if you don't have somebody filling that job, of course, you're not going to have a resume for them, but you'll have the job description. So we want to make sure that you give us that. Copy of the organization's most recent audit or applicable financial statement, and then some other representation, certification of certificate of nonprofit incorporation, articles of incorporation, copy of your bylaws, copy of the organization's written accounting policies, which include procurement, copy of the personnel policies and procedures, conflict of interest policy, debarment, suspension, ineligibility, and exclusion certification, and then certification of compliance with federal funding requirements. And then finally, Appendix 14, if you're seeking preference points. So all of those items are required. Those are the ones, if you're missing any of them, I will let you know what you're missing. You will have, and by email, you will have 3 business days to get that for me. So we'll provide you with everything. However, if you're missing any of these, you can lose up to 10 points. So you want to make sure that those are there. Anything to add to that, Ellen?
Yeah, so App 9 gives you the capacity if you have a current contract with the city, and like, let's say your bylaws are current and on file with the city, on App 9, you would mark currently on file, and then you would not also have to upload the bylaws. So App 9 covers many of those items that do not have an associated app, but you will need to make sure that you include App 9 that indicates which of those is currently on file with the.
And I think Ellen hit the nail on the head if it's current. So if you've not submitted them, or if you're questioning, are these the most current, it's probably okay just to send them anyways, because it sometimes gets missed that it's not the most current. So, and then these are preferred items. You can have them, but they will not count against you if you don't include them. Let's see. And I think the rest are just the forms that you can download, you can use, write on them, then, or type on them, whatever. And then these are the Word docs, and then you could upload them. And I think, and there's instructions for every form, so it should be really clear on how these should be all filled out. So I'm going to let you guys look over those, but pretty clear instructions all the way through. See how far down. Oh, here's App 9.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is App 9, what Ellen was talking about. So if you're current and you're, like you said, if the article of incorporation are current, bylaws of your licenses are current, board members are current. If you're like, oh, we changed, I don't know if I sent them in, send them in. It'll, that can just help. It's current org charts, those often change. Some of these travel policies, procedures, these other personnels don't change as often. So just want to make sure that that you're giving those to us. Anything else, Ellen? I was flipping.
No, these are available on Bonfire to download. the apps 1 through 13 in a group of fillable PDFs. They're also available individually to download one at a time on FCS's webpage. Or of course you can utilize the Word. So you have a couple options.
Let's see what else is there. And I think that's it. That's W9. So it gives you pretty much a page for everything that you need to do.
There's your pay equity.
Oh, there's your pay equity. Yeah.
Here's the link.
So you can go there for the pay equity right there. And that's it.
So there was a question that came in.
Okay.
So one question that came in is what's kind of considered allowable under intensive case management. And intensive case management really has the long-term goal of decreasing substance use and decreasing the high utilization on public service or public kind of systems. So the intention is to solve for that or provide a solution for that. And it could be that we have multiple individual providers that say, we want to provide an intensive case manager for this select population, or it could be that a group of providers come together and develop a collaborative, or that there is an agency overall who says, we'll be the lead kind of case management, and then we'll have some partnerships. So it can look in a variety of fashions.
And I think, like Ellen referred to it, the ultimate goal is to decrease the use of systems, meaning the criminal justice system, decrease in hospitalizations, so that, and we're really looking for an agency or agencies that really help the individuals navigate a lot of programs that are available and that they may have not gotten the support to do that in the past, so that eventually they can navigate those systems on their own and reduce the use of, like I said, hospitalizations and other things that are more costly to the community. So that's the primary cause of that. And I think currently the way it looks, there's one, this could be any form it looks like, but there's one agency, and then there's, I think they have 5 community partners who help with the program. So, but again, you guys could submit what you think it should look like.
Jennifer, you ready to take on Bonfire?
I am ready. So do I have a shared screen?
You could, it's on the bottom.
Yeah.
I do. Let's see here. Okay, everybody should see this now. And if you have your faces up me, it's hiding the login register up at the right-hand top corner. So you'll see that the link here, and the link it's the same that's in the RFP, is the cabq.bonfirehub.com. It'll take you to this page, and this page lets people see what's out there. And but even if you come in here and just view opportunity, that's not good enough. You have to actually register and then go in and select commodity code. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to show you where this is. And I'm going to view this opportunity. So I'll show you, it's a great little program here. It'll show you the number to reference. This is very helpful if you have questions calling into this Sandra, in case there's more than one out there. You can see that it's already been posted. We have to have questions by the 23rd. Closes November 30th. So you can, it tells you the tally of the number of days left. And it just has some pretty interesting graphics here. You can also see the commodity codes, very, very important. You'll see the supporting documentation that we went over in Sandra's presentation. And you'll also see the requested information below. And so you notice the required box out to the side there. That is very important to watch for, because that means that your proposal could get knocked out if the requirement's not met. If you don't agree to the required insurance, or you don't attach one of the required appendices. So as you can see at the very bottom, it says log in or register. So it tells you a couple times here, hey, log in, hey, register. So I am going to log in. Do you guys want, I'm going to go to and you notice here too that there's anytime you need help, you can contact Bonfire Support. So I'm going to just go to that, look at that page, and I wonder if I can, I don't want to, anyway, it's pretty simple to register. I don't want to put a fake one in there and clog up the vendors, but is it pretty clear on the registration? Does anybody have questions on that? How to do it?
So the only thing I would add about registering is when you register, it's going to ask for you to put in commodity codes that you would be interested in. And so I would recommend, but it doesn't limit you to applying for those commodity codes. So when you get a little further in the registration, so I would recommend that you use the commodity codes listed here in this proposal, especially if you will intend on maybe applying for other things in FCS, because we are moving towards using Bonfire exclusively. But again, you're not limited to those commodity codes.
So I'm just going to go and show everybody what it looks like.
And you have to have the correct number of. It's very easy, I promise.
Oh shoot!
So
see, that's why I figured I can't do this with my email. Should I do another? Okay, I'll do another email. I haven't registered in so long, obviously.
And that's Jennifer Bradley's email, in case you have any questions.
Although after they see this performance, they're like, yeah, we're not calling her. Yeah, no. All right. So you can see here. Do you guys want me to continue with this so you can see it?
I think so. Has anybody? Yeah.
All right. Go to my phone here. Tell it I'm A-okay with this. Confirming it. It sends you an email immediately to confirm it. All right. And then you'll see the account information here. You'll see that you can indicate that you're a local business. You can indicate you're a woman-owned business. You can indicate you're a minority-owned business. And those are the definitions of local and minority business are all defined by ordinance. If you already have a supplier ID with the city, you can set it, you can put it in here. You can see there's a long list of of vendor types. This is very helpful for us because if we use this list to invite you to other RFPs that, janitorial services, just in case any of you provide legal services, library materials, office supplies. And then going to see if it lets me go to commodity codes. All right, so here's where you see commodity codes. You don't have to know what your code is. All you just come over here and type in a keyword. And you can see it's going to go through here. You want to, of course, write down the 3 commodity codes that are identified in the open solicitation, but you also want to come through here and see if anything else applies to you, because you may want to do more of that business with the city, and this is how you get notified. So I'm going to choose this one and add it. Now, if you just choose the 918, I don't believe that everything else below it gets also selected. So you are going to need to go through this list, and you see the grayed out plus sign over here. You're going to need to add everyone. See how it is? Everyone that's in there. It'll just go through. You'll have to do it once. I mean, yeah, it does have a little bit time consumption, but make sure that you get everything. And then you see right here, notify me of any opportunities that match my commodity codes. And that is really to, in case you don't want to hear from us, in case you do want to not get a million emails. I don't know, a million, but just to be courteous of your time. I don't know that, I mean, I would leave all regions, but United States, I mean, obviously we're going to be United States. But I'm not going to complete this registration because I don't want to set something up in there because I'm already registered. So I'm going to go back to make sure, am I still sharing?
Yes, you're still sharing.
Well, it won't let me stop the registration. All right, well, it's going to make me complete it. So I'm trying to do this quickly, and so it's not letting me finish. So I am going to log out. So I think that's the problem. And I am going to log in myself. Okay, so I'm back here, and I'm going to log in. You see, remember going all the way down to the bottom? And I am going to thank goodness I remembered that.
That was impressive.
So here's what you see. You've already seen a little bit of this with when you went on to review the open solicitations, but now you're going to be able to actually upload documents. So you see, gives you a nice little timetable, how many days left. You could see that it allows you to download documents here. Also, I understand on the Family Community Services page, you'll notice the requirements here must be uploaded. You'll have to record, you have to agree to the terms and conditions. So some of these are going to be yes, no answers. Some of these are going to be upload documents. Any messages that come from us, like the public notices, which will be the addendum, will also be posted here. So any questions that you have even individually, if you reach out to Sandra, everyone will get to know the answer. So that's the kind of one of the nice things about this is that everybody knows the answers to all the questions they're asked, just in case you haven't thought about it. So I would start early on getting your proposals in case you have any issues with Bonfire. I would not start the day of the proposal being due. I would really get in here and see what you can get completed, even if you don't post it early on, and get questions answered. And there is some due dates here for questions. We're pretty strict about the questions due date, and Ellen and Sandra, let me know if this is different in Family Community Services. It's really because we need to give everybody the opportunity to possibly change their proposal if an answer to a question changes their proposal. So taking questions all the way up to the 20th, as you can see on the screen there, really would make things difficult for people that are trying to work, the weekend to get their stuff in when they needed to on the 30th, I mean, all the way to the 27th, I should say. So, like I said, Bonfire has a technical team. If you have questions about it, uploading anything in here, Bonfire will not let you upload your proposal if you upload it late. So if you get an error message, if you get on 20 minutes before and you cannot get your proposal in, that's why, because it's late. If you don't upload the pay equity form, it'll stop you. That's why, because it's a required document. So listen to it when it tells you to stop, and it'll tell you what you need to put in there. So is
Jennifer,
there any questions? Yes.
I do have a question. So once submitted, are they able to go up and revise or make additions or make any changes, or once it's submitted, it's done?
It's done.
Okay.
Yeah, because after the close, you mean before the close date?
Before the close date, yeah.
Before the close date, no. If you actually send it to us, you're telling us that's what you want us to review. Okay. So be sure before you hit that button where you're done and it's going. Don't just send a piecemeal or say, oh, I forgot this at the end, because that's what we're saying that we're going to be looking at is what you send to us. It's really a handy little program. It's we're in this COVID time. We used to be in central purchasing. We also used to be all paper. Everything came in. We'd have boxes and boxes and boxes on proposal day. This has really revolutionized our abilities, particularly in this time, to continue business as usual. I mean, as usual, right? Business as usual as we can get with everybody working at home. We also have, evaluation committees that don't need to meet in person and can do everything on here. So it's really been a great program. It is going to be what we do in the future. It's changed everything. DocuSign has changed everything for the city. We really were ushered into a new age quite rapidly with the COVID, and in some ways it was it was what we needed to get moving on this. But everything's very transparent, very clear on what you need. So it's really a handy program. I mean, I've been able to come in here besides my registration issues, but and pretty much find stuff and be able to do stuff fairly easily.
Jennifer, I have a question. If a wrong document has been entered early on, I mean, let's say maybe like 4 or 5 days before the due date, can it be taken out and the correct copy is entered? Can it be replaced by updated copy?
I would have to see. What is your family?
Say like insurance. Let's say like insurance. They maybe not insurance. Let's say pay equity. they may have entered one that was from last fiscal year.
Right.
And by mistake, they clicked on that to enter it.
Right.
Rather than the current one.
Right, so you're not going to, after this closes and after you submit your documentation, I think that's when Sandra comes and tells you, oh, this is wrong. We need to see this within a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
So,
So
you're asking, what if you notice that you've done something wrong? I'd have to ask Bonfire if you can correct it. I'm thinking you might be able to before the close date. I'll have to, I mean, but we could certainly get that answered and get that, on one of the addendum to you guys for questions. I'm not sure how functionally it works. In the Family Community Services Procurement Regulations, I do imagine there's an ability to withdraw a proposal. I do not know if there's an ability to, once you submit it and say, this is it, guys, to say, oh, no, wait a minute. I'm going to give you this instead. I don't know.
So our procurement allows for up until the time that of the deadline, you can modify existing. I mean, it's not optimal, especially when we were doing it in paper.
Right.
But that's what our procurement allows for. But then after the deadline, you cannot modify it after that.
Right. So I'll have to find out what the functionality of Bonfire is. Well, I'll find out. Because it's a little bit different in central purchasing.
While you have that screen open, I just want to kind of go over where we would expect to find things that you are uploading. So under requested information, you see Appendix 1 through 13. So any of your appendices, whether you do the bulk download that's available on Bonfire of the fillable PDFs, or you complete it in Word and then transfer it to PDF, or you do them individually that's available on FCS, that's where Appendices 1 through 13 would go. And whenever you register, you have the capacity to upload. So do you agree with the city terms? That's a yes or no. Do you agree to provide the required insurance? That's a yes or no that you would fill out as you're completing your application. The proposal section is where the actual proposal narrative would be uploaded. And then proposal attachments, that's any other attachment that's referenced in the RFP. So if you have an MOU or your bylaws or any other 5012 uploads or attachments that you would need, that's where the rest would go. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was it.
Just it's not optional to agree to the city's terms and conditions, and it's not optional to agree to provide the required insurance. If you cannot, however, we want to know, but that will be a non-responsive proposal if you can't agree to our terms and if you can't agree to the coverage. So, and then, like we said, the documents that you need to fill, the fillable appendices are up here. Are all those the same document?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are all those three the same documents?
All what three? The proposal attachments, and the appendices? No, those are different documents.
So all three are different?
The question came in, they're all different.
Okay.
And they're all different. Is there a naming protocol for uploading documents? We did not specify a naming protocol. However, we would prefer if you name what you save it is what the actual document is. So Appendix 1, Appendix 2, you don't have to add your agency name because it's going to be grouped by your agency whenever we go in and review it.
I forgot to mention social determinants of health. I'm sorry, when I was reviewing the requirements. So just keep in mind, we will be asking about that information on a quarterly basis. So I'm sorry about that. I just thought of it now, so.
Also, there are no federal funds associated with this RFP. So whenever we ask you to acknowledge federal funds, that form says 0 federal funds at 0% of the allocation. So the question is the bonfire account for the whole agency or for individuals?
You will have to, yeah, it'll be individually because you'll have to have an email. Somebody has to get notified. I mean, and if you want to, I mean, if you have an agency that has like an agency email rather than an individual email, then you can do agency, but it's really tied to, that's how you're going to get noticed.
Any other questions? Oh, can more than one staff work on the same proposal? So I'm gonna go ahead and answer this, and Jennifer, you correct me. Because you're not actually completing the proposal in the system,
right?
You're completing the proposal on a Word document and then transferring it to PDF. However, you all can work on a proposal that you all would have submitted in hard copy form is how you would also work on this. So, but you only want to have one person from your agency submitting on behalf of your agency. Did that answer your question, Jules? Yeah, one person submits. Otherwise, it would be piecemeal, and you would have incomplete applications.
I don't think you can. I think one person has to come in here because you saw how I got in here. I think you have to log in, and that logged in person has to do this thing in here. So I don't think somebody else could. If somebody else logged in, it would be it would treat it like a separate proposal. It would seem like.
Right.
But yeah, Ellen's right. Most of the work is done outside of here. This is just a posting machine.
Any other questions about bonfire, or about the actual proposal, scopes, directions, process, purpose? Okay, so we are going to post the questions and answers from today, as well as this video when we figure out how to do that. Thank you all so much for being here today and for your interest. We really appreciate all of our partners in community and all the services that you all provide. So thank you all very much. Sandra or Jennifer, anything to add?
No, I look forward to seeing what we get. Thank you guys so much.
I guess the only thing I have to add, one more thing, start early.
Definitely start submitting early.
Definitely.
How do I leave? I don't know how. Share.
There you go.
Okay, leaving. See you guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, see ya.
Thank you, Tristan. I appreciate it.
Sure. Have a good one.
You too.